Hi, I'm home. And of course, while I was on an airplane, Meghan Markle dropped a new podcast appearance that I think we could have all lived without. But of course, when we're getting so much great content from the actual working royals, whether it be Royal Ascot or Order of the Garter, Trooping the Color, all the goodness, all the goodies, I mean, to me, this is my favorite.
You know when you're having a perfectly good day, the royals are actually working. We got Order the Garter Pomp, trooping the colour sparkle, princess and stomping around like she owns a place, and then Meghan Markle suddenly drops a podcast appearance like a giant, attention-seeking anvil? Yeah, that. Apparently Meghan cannot stand a world where she isn't the headline, even for 5 minutes. So while royal watchers were enjoying what is genuinely the best time of year, events, uniforms, balcony moments, tiaras, Catherine's fashion, the king slightly overwhelmed but pushing on, BAM. Meghan arrives with what can only be described as the opposite of breaking news, a podcast nobody asked for.
Time as a royal watcher. Yeah, of course, Meghan's got to interrupt it with some whatever the opposite of breaking news is. What is she promoting? Everything is on hold right now. So the fact that she's putting herself out there, it just, to me, it shows how obsessed she is with the media attention that unfortunately we give her. So I had a really great guest lined up for today, and their internet didn't work. So I had to reschedule it for tomorrow. I'm working on my Friday to get you some great reaction to this podcast. Scott Rouse and I are going to catch up again, and he has got some really interesting insight into the body language of this podcast appearance. I read someone else's body language reaction to Meghan's podcast appearance. And one thing that stood out for me, and I'm going to have to ask Scott this specifically, is I think it's Judy James. Is that the name of the body language expert that is utilized a lot throughout the UK? Meghan, there's a sense of resentment, according to her, when Meghan talks about Serena Williams and all of her success. Yes, she name drops, there's a thing that they say that Meghan typically does when she name drops big people. Like she makes this face in a hand gesture, like she's very proud that she associates with these big people. But then when the host references Serena's real accomplishments and success, her own success, it seems like the body language expert said that she sensed a little bit of resentment from Meghan, that it was either resentment that the host interrupted Meghan, or that Meghan was having to acknowledge someone else's success. Meghan was there to talk about herself. And it's like, well, duh, according to recent reports, Meghan was scheming, trying to knock Serena allegedly off of Vogue because she wanted that Vogue cover. And Anna Wintour was like, not today, Satan. Anyway, let's break down some of the quotes from Meghan Markle in this latest podcast. So she says she's proudest of investing in herself. It's been so many years since we came over here, she says, referring to her move to California. I do think it takes a little bit of courage to bet on yourself, and that's felt really good. I mean, of course it's easier to bet on yourself when, despite publicly failing repeatedly, whether it's Spotify or American Riviera Orchard or whatever, there's somebody waiting in the wings to give you another break because of the man you're married to, because of your proximity to the British royal family. Yeah, it's easy to bet on yourself when people keep giving you a chance, despite the fact that you fail. The return on investment is not there. You lack the work ethic required to function in today's society where everybody is somebody. Everybody, celebrity has evolved. You're not just a movie star anymore. There are all these influencers out there, and they can have 16 million followers, but when nobody recognizes them when they're grocery shopping, everything's changed. And Yeah, it's really easy to bet on yourself when people are willing to give you an opportunity because you're vaguely associated with the current king, and the current king refuses to um, say anything negative about you despite your past behavior. Yeah, it's easy. So I congratulations on betting on yourself, but you're in a completely different lane. You are in a very privileged lane. So it's not, that's not really advice to anyone. That's not going to be beneficial for anybody else to hear. Bet on yourself. Why? Because Lemonada Podcast is going to be waiting in line after Spotify gives you the boot. If you're a rando, not so much. That's not our reality. If you could rewrite your public narrative from scratch, is there anything that you would do differently? And Meghan says yes. This is great because it's actually Meghan finally taking accountability.
Let's talk about it. So Megan pops up on a podcast, and already people who do body language analysis are foaming at the mouth. The host is excited. Megan is excited, mostly about herself, and royal commentators are exhausted. Her own guest who was supposed to join this particular reaction video had internet issues, so the host rescheduled.
I'm lying. No, it's not. This is what Meghan says. Yes, I would ask people to tell the truth. Still blaming other people. That was such a great opportunity to say something humble, to say something, to have a little humility and to say, gosh, I mean, I don't think she's capable of it, but to say, of course I would do things differently. We love our family. I mean, we love our extended family. I mean, that there were a million ways for her to make to say something really significant there. And instead, she's like, I wish that people would tell the truth about me. Okay, we are. I'm here. Hey, I've been here for a while. The truth is that you're a jerk. So there's that. What an idiotic reaction to that. That this woman gave her the stage to say something really poignant and something that could have changed the trajectory of Meghan's future, her career. And of course, Meghan, it's like another veiled swipe at the British royal family. Like they were lying about me. No, actually, nobody talks about you over there anymore. I, I'm proof. I just spent a significant amount of time over there, and you're not on their radar. So, when asked if she ever gets angry, Meghan says peaks and valleys. She continues, "My dear friend Serena." This is the moment I was telling you about. Go watch this clip. Watch Meghan talking about Serena. And then when the host interrupts her to talk about what a girl boss Serena is, there's a physical change in Meghan. Um, she told me years ago, a lie can't live forever. 8 years is a long time, but not forever. Uh, yeah, you're right. A lie can't live forever, which is why we now know that there's no royal racist within the British royal family. That lie started thanks to you on the Oprah Winfrey program. So that's good advice. A lie can't live forever. And we're more confident and excited about the British royal family than ever before. Meghan says it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm not comfortable answering that. It's okay to pivot and to really get to the place where you don't feel like you have to explain yourself. And I think that comes with time, maturity, work, support surrounding you. She adds, but also to be authentic, something she knows nothing about. I don't think there's any value either in being so rehearsed. My God, does this woman have does she hear herself when she talks? I'm confused. Like, does she watch this stuff back and go, "Oh," and I think that blah, 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 blah. And just having your talking points, just talk. Well, when she just talks without talking points, she accuses people of racism. Okay, so maybe she should stick to some structured, uh, some key facts, some facts that are there are actually receipts for versus just verbally vomiting in a chair next to Oprah Winfrey. But also this idea that it's okay to say no. You don't have to explain yourself. Every one of these podcast episodes, every one of these interviews, Meghan is explaining herself. She's about to go on here to, she tells us in throughout this interview that her podcast is on hold. Her podcast is she's going to pause that for a little bit, and she says she has plans to bring it back. I'll get into the details, but that's explaining people like myself, people like Maureen Callahan, demanding to know where season 2 is. If it's so successful, which we know analytically it's not, where season 2, she's hearing these critiques, she's hearing these questions, and she's answering some of these criticisms. She talks about the twerking video. She answers her critics throughout these interviews. So when she tells you you don't have to explain yourself, when she tells Jamie Kern Lima that,
which honestly felt symbolic. Even the internet rejected this episode. This podcast appearance didn't offer anything new. It offered more Meghan, more self-promotion, more contradictions, more victimhood, more spiritual self-help Instagram caption vibes, and more proof that she's obsessed with managing her image. She says she's quitting the podcast for a while. She says she'll return when it feels right.
she is tired of the prove it game. That girl is it's halftime for that girl. She's plenty still in the game. And you get that in this podcast episode, because she continues to explain herself. She continues to try to prove herself. She's answering her critics, but she does it in these arenas. And I'm sorry, but the way she tries to dismiss some of these failures as pauses, or just taking a break or whatever, it doesn't make sense to anybody that has any sort of common sense whatsoever. You're sitting there going, why wouldn't you try to take advantage of the hype surrounding this? Okay, you're telling us you have this incredibly successful podcast, so successful that Beyonce's mom is begging you to be on it, but you don't want to continue to do that. Nobody would turn down, or nobody would pull back or unplug from something that was a something they deemed a positive effort, putting positivity into the world, and B, that was successful or monetarily successful. I think I told you, it's estimated that she made approximately $40,000 with season 1. I'm sorry, but I just don't think she thinks that's worth her time. And it's okay to say no, girl. You quit the royal family after like 17 months as a working member. We know you quit Trevor Ingleson. We know you're okay with saying no. That's not breaking news. You're a quitter. American Riviera Orchard. We're gonna pour one out for our homie, American Riviera Orchard. Like, we get it. You're okay with saying no. You're okay with quitting. We established that a very, very long time ago. You see how clearly obsessed she is with other people making money off of her. Regarding fashion, she says, you start to watch how it's being monetized at such a huge level globally, oftentimes not giving credit to the brands and the designers who actually made those pieces. So it's a fine line between, well, do you want to spoon feed who the brands and the designers are when it feels promotional? Don't act like you have any problem with things feeling promotional. We've seen your affiliate links, okay? When I have no skin in the game in any of those arrangements, Meghan continues, though, she was shocked that would happen with what her children wore. What was so wild, maybe the surprise came, was when anything that my children were wearing started to get monetized and affiliate sales and part of the headlines and things. That's where it became a little uncomfortable. But at the same time, when it comes from a place of love and excitement, very, very different, then you can be happy about it. Now, this is the same woman that was linking outfits that looked so similar to things that William and Catherine's children were wearing. She was trying to make money. Go look at the headlines from the Daily Mail and places like that. Meghan was monetizing with affiliate links the outfits of William and Catherine's children. So, I mean, I'm floored that she would have the audacity to say this, that she's watching other people make money off of her children's outfits when she is making money on William and Catherine's children's outfits, a couple that she clearly aspires to be, but no longer acknowledges her existence on the planet. Um, the hypocrisy astounds. Does it? I mean, I think we should have just expect it these days, but I still can't believe half the things that come out of her mouth. When asked what she's currently aspiring for, Meghan responds success, emotional success, happiness. And another point in the interview, she says, my faith is greater than my fear. I believe in myself. Girl, could you just have these conversations with yourself in the mirror in one of your 16 bathrooms and exclude us? I believe in the team around me, which is why they're dropping like flies. I believe in our potential for success. She adds, I don't see the possibility of failure. Well, it's happened, so you should be able to just accept it. Not when you can learn from everything you've done. It's easy to feel this way when you continue to get opportunities despite literal failures, because of Prince Harry. I know I've already made this point, but it's easy to be like, everything's going to be okay when you've got Lemonada and people like that going, you know, we're not turned off by the fact that you produced little to nothing for Spotify despite a huge opportunity and payday. Before she decided to lean into jam, she debated fashion and beauty. Though she isn't ruling them out down the road, she said, if I had gone into beauty, for example, it was definitely something that people were asking me to get involved in. I think it could be fun. I think there would be a time for that. I think there will certainly be a time for fashion, but I think ultimately I wanted to do what felt authentic. But I also recognize that there are variables you don't have to think about when you're doing composition of makeup. This, again, people wanted me to get into fashion. Beyonce's mom wanted to be on my podcast. People love me. I'm so popular. Nobody champions this woman more than this woman. I mean, constantly telling us how much she's loved, how constantly reminding us of how many opportunities she's given or are been offered. I cannot imagine Prince Harry's having to overhear this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to have to start a Pray for Harry group, okay? Because can you imagine this constant conversation of how great she is at home? And he does this to us too. Um, but I this has to get on his nerves sometimes, right? Just the constant, like, I am so great. Everyone loves me. About the twerking video and social media, she says it feels liberating. It was a great way for me to get my voice back.
But let's be real. She'll return when she needs attention. And when she does, we'll all be here, popcorn in hand, watching the Markle media machine try once again to convince the world she's misunderstood, undervalued, oppressed, and just one podcast episode away from global adoration. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.